Good day, good day. I am very excited to be joined by one of the two fantastic goalkeepers that we have for Atletico Ottawa, Mr. Sean Melvin. Sean, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. It's good to have you. So, listen, there's so many things that I want to talk to you about. But first of all, you have done something that I say people only do for work or for love. And that is you were born and raised on the West Coast. You moved to Ottawa. So tell me about the transition. Not just we'll get to the football aspect of it or the soccer aspect of it in a moment, but from a day to day, way of life. Tell me about transitioning from BC to Ontario, specifically Ottawa. How are you like living in the nation's capital?
I've loved it so far. It's a bit of a shock with the cold and the snow when we get in the winter seasons and stuff, because we don't have much of that back home. But yeah, so far everything's been great, and I've loved it here so far.
Excellent, excellent. Now your career has been very interesting. I mean, you're somebody who has played in the MLS. You played with the Vancouver Whitecaps, which made the commute very great, I'm sure. And of course now you are hanging out with one of the best teams, which of course is Atletico Ottawa. So of course playing in the MLS and in the CPL, what was that transition like, and what are some of the major differences?
Um, I wouldn't say that like too many major differences. I didn't get a lot of playing time in Vancouver, but being in the CPL, it's a great league and it's been growing a lot. And I'd say I'm not sure major differences for me, but um, sorry, not a time there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, one of the things that I find is that the CPL really seems to be taking off, and year after year, we're seeing a lot more interest in it in terms of fans, in terms of attendance, in terms of excitement, and things of that nature. And you punched your lottery ticket to the hotbed of that excitement with Atletico Ottawa. So, as somebody like yourself who has had the opportunity of going around and being to different stadiums and being around different atmospheres, everybody's always going to say their fans are the best, but you have to admit there is something really special about the Atletico Ottawa fan base.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think we definitely have the best fan base, like you mentioned. Not That's not just the cliche thing saying that. I think even after our first home victory, you guys saw this season, we're all over there celebrating with the fans, and like I think it's tough to see that anywhere else in the league. And I mean, the guys are always everybody's always cheering the whole 90 minutes, so loud and so involved in the game. And yeah, I definitely think we have the best following.
Yeah. Now, coming into the season, Nathan Ingham was our number one goalkeeper. Of course, Nathan got injured, which then thrust you into the position of number one. But I would say that we're in a very rare position where we have two solid number one goalkeepers. There isn't like a definitive, okay, you're number one, you're number two. No, where you might see with many other teams. With us, the coach legitimately has a difficult choice as he's putting together the lineup if both of you two are healthy. So tell me about the relationship with you and Nathan.
We have a great relationship. I know we push each other every day, and Nate obviously had a great year last year, and then unfortunate for him to be injured this year. But luckily for me, it gives me a chance. But I mean, when he's playing, I try to be as supportive as possible, and he's been great while he's been injured. We talk about things every day, like every game and every situation. We're always there pushing each other, and same with our goalkeeper coach Borja. I think we got a really good group, and as I said, I think we have the best kind of duo or tandem in the league here. And I think the team is going to be in a good spot with either of us in goal, and whoever's in is going to try and help the team win and get into a better spot on the table.
Mm-hmm. Now, at what point did you decide that goaltending was where you wanted to or goalkeeping, excuse me, is where you wanted to lay your skills? Because obviously, when as a little kid, I'm sure when you started playing, I mean, every position was open to you, but you've really found your niche from a goalkeeping standpoint. So, what was the point in your life when you realized that was the position for yourself?
I'd say probably when I was around 12 or 13 years old, I was playing around then, and that's kind of the age where you kind of have to make a decision where you want to go. And initially, I got in the goalkeeping kind of probably like an old classic one where like, hey, we need someone to go in net. Like you're big and tall, like get in there and see how you do.
Yeah.
And I loved it from the first time I stepped in there, and from that moment on, I haven't looked back and loved every moment.
Yeah. Now, I have to tell you, your reflexes are ridiculously on point. We've seen that. I mean, we're talking like goal line saves. We're talking like, cat-like reflexes to, to use the cliche, but it definitely hits here. What are some of the things that you do, to make sure that you stay sharp? Because obviously we are extremely fortunate to have you on the team. I mean, again, as I've said, I mean, there's been some great moments where you've basically had the game on your back and you've been able to keep us in it. So, what is it that one does, Sean Melvin, to make sure that the reflexes are so on point?
Yeah, just in training, you try and keep sharp every day. And then when you get an opportunity to get in, you just got to work and make sure you're always focused. I'd say biggest thing for me is mental. You just always got to be switched on and kind of be like pessimistic. Oh, what happens if this deflects off this way and goes here? Or what if something breaks down? And just always got to be on your toes, always got to be ready. Like, oh, what's the worst thing that can happen in this situation? And then, yeah, you just train those reflexes every day and just try and get yourself in the right position to make save.
Yeah. Now this Saturday, you guys return to TD Place as you're going to be taking on Vancouver, one of the expansion team, I should say, to this season. Now you've already played Vancouver this year. You were very successful. I believe the result was 5-0 to Atletico. When you're going in against a team that you were so dominant against, I guess it could be very easy to perhaps look past them, take them for granted. But I know that's not how Atletico Ottawa works. So what's the mindset coming in against Vancouver this coming weekend?
Definitely won't be taking any game lightly. We're definitely going to be looking to try and rebound because obviously the last game didn't go as we like, and we see ourselves as a playoff team. So we're going to take every game as seriously as possible, and we're going to try and put our best foot forward every time and show that we deserve to be or should be in a higher place. And yeah, we'll definitely be taking this. It's like a final, like one more match, one more final. That's kind of our motto. So every game we're going to go on with the right attitude and try to get the 3 points.
Excellent, excellent. I really appreciate that. Okay, listen, I want to be respectful of your time. Before I let you go, I know you've been, because you were pretty much, as soon as we jumped on, you're like, are we going to start with rapid fire? I'm like, hang on, Sean, I'm going to ask you some questions first. Well, let's drift into some rapid fire here.
All right, go.
Now, the first question of rapid fire is always, and if you can't give me one for this one, you can give me a top three. Favorite movie of all time?
Oh, I think I got to go with dodgeball.
Okay. There's no wrong answers in rapid
Yeah.
fire, by the way,
Yeah.
unless you said the notebook, and then I just immediately end this interview. And okay, number two, number two. What is your favorite thing to do in Ottawa? I'm always fascinated by people who've moved here, and like, what are some of the things that they like to do? So, what's one of your favorite things to do in Ottawa?
I like to go out and try different food. Try to get around in like the Chinatown area in here and try out some food there. A couple Korean barbecue places. There's a barbecue place near here, Lexington Barbecue, and I really like the Stella Luna Gelato. Been through there,
Mhm.
so I'd say food. I like getting around and getting some food.
Nice, nice. We'll have to talk about metabolism tips after because
Yeah,
I think about those places and I already start gaining weight.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Don't
Uh,
let my coaches hear this; they won't like to hear it.
Fair, fair. Now, did you ever watch the movie The Karate Kid and see Daniel catching the mosquito with the chopsticks and think to yourself, with your amazing reflexes, Psh, I can do that?
Yeah, I've seen that, but that didn't cross my mind. Maybe a little wax on, wax off, trying to block the balls and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, fair. As a team, have you and your teammates ever gotten together to watch episodes of Ted Lasso?
No, we haven't. No, we definitely discussed it, but not gotten together and watched any.
Okay. Now, when you watch a show like that, obviously well, they call it a comedy, but I mean, let's be honest, it's a bit of both. How accurate do you think they get things on that show? Because I mean, you're living it, right? So as you watch it, do you think to yourself like some of the stuff, especially like locker room practice, some of those things, are they picking up things pretty well, or are they completely far off?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, a little dramatized because it's a show and stuff, and then try to make it maybe a little more interesting or fun than it is. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things going on in the locker room and people trying to have fun and like make jokes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's fairly accurate. Yeah.
Okay. What is something, Sean Melvin, that people would be surprised to learn about you?
Ooh, surprised to learn about me. Oh, I don't know. Nothing jumping off the top of my head. Love golf. Love being outdoors. Obviously, very into sports, athletics. Trying to keep active. Does that kind of stuff.
Okay. I think those are things that people would think that would they would like the professional athlete. I think we think that you're into sports, but okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anything surprising? Maybe you don't want to let anything out. You're saving it for the documentary. But if there's you could
yeah.
give
Let's
us
save it
a
for the
little bit.
autobiography and
Yeah.
documentary. No, I don't have much on that.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. What is something? Let's end on this. What is something that people can look forward to this coming weekend at the game? For especially speaking to those people who have not had the opportunity of checking out an Atletico game live. Talk to those people right now and tell them why they should be making their way down to TD Place this afternoon. Sorry, this Saturday afternoon, excuse me, to check. Well, don't go this afternoon, but go Saturday afternoon to check out Atletico Ottawa against Vancouver.
I think we have a really great atmosphere. I think the fans and the team have all created a really good sporting atmosphere, and it's tons of fun to be out there. We're all loud, everybody's into it all the game, and come out and watch us get 3 points.
Excellent. I love that. Sean, thank you so much for your time. Wishing you all the best, and of course with the rest of the season and specifically to this coming weekend. Looking forward to Ottawa getting the 3 points this coming weekend. Thanks so much for the time, and you take care.
And thank you. Thanks for having me on.